Given our past relationship on a project, I wanted to talk about that specifically because it was a very interesting time, given that it was 2020.
Mhm.
So you were, of course, heading up the QA team at Mashrek. We were Monstar Lab, and I was heading up delivery team there. And as this was a very obviously important engagement for us as a company, and obviously a big project for Mashrek, creating an entire new website on a newly adopted technology for them. We were placing some of our development team on site with yourselves because also we were helping to hire new developers for Sitecore, to hire a new QA team, and then do capability building so that we could build and then hand off the website to yourselves for future continuous improvement work. So we had flown over people from two of our offices in Denmark and from our team in the Ukraine. And the idea was that we would have, Nikolai and our Ukrainian team, and we would have a couple of members of the Danish team on site for at least the first 4 weeks. I think Nikolai was going to perhaps stay for 3 months. And then at the end of the week, all the airports started closing down. We had to desperately fly everybody back after that planning week and really pivot, start using virtual machines because, of course, from a security point of view, as a bank, it was very important in terms of their development. So from your side of things, how did you find that challenge met in terms of we all expected to have people right there in front of us, and then suddenly we did not have that luxury?
Yeah, I think there was many things that was sort of surprising and uncharted territory, if I might add, both from a personal perspective and from a work perspective. So I think that felt a little challenging when it actually happened. Is like the first thought that came to mind was, how will we execute this? Because I think as a working world back then, we only knew one particular way, and that was the more the physical than the remote, I would say. Yeah. So a lot of those came to mind. A lot of doubts were there in terms of, can we actually execute it? The timelines weren't changing, which made it even more challenging. So even though the world underneath us was changing, the timelines were staying the same. Okay. So I must admit, the bank did an exceptional job to get together and to make sure that we can enable the remote work, not just for the staff itself, but also for companies like yourself that have come in and actually had to work within that environment and that infrastructure that we were pushing forward. Yeah. So there were, I would say, initial maybe communication gaps that we quickly resolved, and things happened really fast. The good thing is that we did use the visualization tools and the collaboration tools that I did mention earlier, the Jiras of this world. I think we were using Azure DevOps at the time, and we made it work, in terms of making sure that things were documented, that everyone knew what their roles and responsibilities were. And then it quickly sort of fell into place that we can do this, that based on the collaboration and the tools that we had at hand, I think everything was possible. If you look at Microsoft Teams, or if you look at Zoom, and then if you look at that collaboration tools, we weren't really lacking a lot, I think, when it came from that perspective. So that was something that quickly changed into a lot of productivity. I think we did make the time afterwards, right? We made the actual deadline to deliver, and I think delivered with immense quality, I think, from the team that you brought in and the teams that we had. And I still think, it's running really smoothly at this stage. So I think that's one thing that we can really be proud of in terms of taking that doubt, or taking that challenging space and turning it around into a win, and turning it into something that is working now and still working, will work going forward. So I think that's something that we should all be definitely proud of with that achievement.
Yes, and I think it really speaks to some of those values of the Agile Manifesto, respond quickly to change. And my gosh, we really needed to respond quickly to change at that point, and not just obviously changing technologies, but really rethinking how we were going to make this work, given the circumstances. And yeah, we did it. I think it was a great success in the sense of the metrics that we got back, the analytics from the new website engagement and traffic versus the previous website. So the data spoke for itself, which was great to see as well from our point of view.
True.
If you'd like to find out more, we have a series of videos where myself and Toyer talk through various subjects, from test-driven development to the importance of retros and practical QA certifications, all with examples from our own personal and professional experience. Thank you so much.